Okay, let's have a look at some harder examples of arithmetic series. These are very common questions I'm going to do now on the examination paper. Here we go. The sum of the first 5 terms of an AP is 51. The fifth term is 17. So I'm told 2 bits of information. Notice I am not given what the actual arithmetic series is at all in this question. I'm told the sum of the first 5 terms is 51. The fifth term is 17. And I have 3 things here I've got to work out. Right, before I even look at what I've got to work out, let me just write down what I'm told. The sum of the first 5 terms. Right, so I'm told that S5 is 51. Notice I've used AP for arithmetic progression. It means, remember, arithmetic series, same thing. Okay, so S5 is equal to 51. I'm told that. I'll write that down. I'm also told that the fifth term is 17. So the actual fifth term means T5 is 17. So S5, if you add up the first 5 terms, they give 51. The actual fifth term itself is 17. Those are the 2 bits of information that you're told. Okay, we now make use of the 2 formulae that we've got for the sum of and the nth term formula itself. If you want to make a note about these at the side, okay, this is what we do. Let's consider the easier one, the nth term formula. The general formula for the nth term is Tn equals a plus n minus 1 d's. So if we're talking about the fifth term, n is 5. So you get a plus 5 minus 1 is 4 d's. So the fifth term can be written as a plus 4 d's. Now I don't know a and I don't know d, but I do know that T5 is the same as a plus 4 d's. So I'm going to replace a with a plus 4 d's. I'm going to replace T5 with a plus 4 d's, like so. And so you get that coming out. Now that's an equation, and as you can see, we do not know a, we do not know d. There are 2 unknowns which we can't solve. But we have got a second bit of information where obviously this should give you a clue as to how we're going to solve it. We've got 2 unknowns, can't solve it. If I call that equation number 1 for the moment, what I'm going to do is get the same sort of thing appearing for this second bit of information with the same 2 unknowns, call it equation 2, and we're going to solve these 2 equations simultaneously to find a and d. And that's the technique. And if you look at what we want to find a, we want to find d as part a and b of the question. So, let's go to the second bit of information we're given. We're told that S5 is 51. So, the nth term formula, the sum of n terms formula, which you should know, is n over 2 bracket 2a plus n minus 1 d's, like so. So, if you're talking about sum of 5 terms, you've got S5 equals 5 over 2, 2a plus 4 d's, like so. Inside there, like that. So let's change S5 to that. So on the left I've got 5 over 2 bracket 2a plus 4d's, and that's equal to 51 on the right hand side. So I've got this statement. Now this statement here I can tidy up a little bit, because I can take out a common factor of 2 from these 2 terms to the outside. So I'm going to get 2 lots of 5 on the top inside the square bracket. If I take out the 2, I'm just left with a single a. Take out 2 from that, I've got 2 d's. So that 2 times the a gave you the 2a, that 2 times the 2d gave you the 4d. The 5 was already there. Don't forget, you've still got over 2 outside. I'm leaving the 51 alone. So here you can see that the 2's, top and bottom, outside the bracket, can now cancel, so they disappear. So you're left with 5 lots of a plus 2d, like so. Well, I would probably suggest you multiply out 5a plus 10d then is equal to 51. 51's an awkward number, so you can't simplify it by dividing through by something. It's not going to work. Okay, so that's equation 2. So we've got 2 equations with the same values a and d in each. We can now solve them simultaneously. So I'm going to rub this out, make some space and solve it simultaneously. So here we go. Let's get rid of all of this and all of this down the side. Let me write the 2 equations at the top here so I've got them as a reference. A plus 4d equals 17, equation 1, and I've got 5a plus 10d equals 51, and that's equation 2. So I can now get rid of all of these, and we can now solve those two simultaneously. So here we go. Solve 1 and 2. Here we go. Now I don't care whether you do it by elimination method, because they're set out in a way where you could use elimination quite easily like you did in year 9, or I don't care if you do it by substitution techniques. I'll do it by substitution. I'm going to take equation 1 and I'm going to say that A is equal to, take the 4d over, you get 17 minus 4d. I'm going to call that asterisk for now. And I'm going to substitute asterisk into equation 2. So equation 2 is now going to become 5a's. 5 lots of A. Well, A is this thing, 17 minus 4d. So you get 5 lots of 17 minus 4d. Plus 10d, plus 10d is equal to 51. Is equal to 51. Like so. We've now just got an equation with d's in, which we can now work out and solve. So 5 17s, 85. 5 times minus 4d is minus 20d, plus 10d is equal to 51. Okay, combine the d's together, you get minus 10d. Take them to the right, you're going to get positive 10d on the right. Take the 51 to the left, you're going to get minus 51. So you're going to get 85, take away 51. So 85 subtract 51 is equal to 10d's. Okay, so 85 take away 51, you're going to end up with 34 on the left equals 10d's on the right. So 34 equals 10d, so share by 10, d turns out to be 3.4. Okay, well, if d is 3.4, it is possible. I've got to say in an exam it's much more likely that it'll turn out to be a whole number, but it is possible it could be a decimal, so d is 3.4 in this particular case. Asterisk line, let's find out what a is. So the asterisk now gives you that a is equal to 17 minus 4d. So a is equal to 17 minus 4 lots of 3.4. So a turns out to be 17 minus, well, 4 these are 12, 4.4s are 1.6, so that's 13.6. So we end up with a is equal to 17, take away that, which is what, 3.4. So a is also 3.4. Okay, so there you go. And if you look back at the questions parts A, B and C, I think part A was work out the first term, and I think part B is work out the value of the common difference, which is 3.4 in this particular case. Now there was a part C which we had to work out. I think it was the sum of the first 25 terms. I'm not sure, I've forgotten, so bear with me on this. What I'm going to do, now that you know the A and now that you know the D, you're able now to work out the sum of any terms, any number of terms you like. So for part C, it would have helped if I'd made a note about what part C was before I rubbed it off, but never mind. Okay, part C, the sum of, I don't know what it was, 25 terms. It might have been 50 terms or something, it doesn't matter. Well, I'll do sum of 25 terms. So the sum of 25, the first 25 terms. So all you're going to do is work out from the Sn formula n over 2, 2a plus n minus 1 d's, the sum of 25 terms. It'll be 25 over 2, bracket 2a's, that's 2, 3.4, 6.8, plus 25, take away 1 is 24, lots of d, and that is 3.4. So that's the calculation you've got to work out. So S25 is 25 over 2, bracket 6.8 plus, now we can reach for a calculator. Okay, so 24 times 3.4 turns out to be 81.6, like so. So if I add that to 6.8, you're going to get S25 is equal to, well, that's 12.5 outside the bracket, 25 shared by 2, and that plus that gives 88.4. Let me then get rid of all of these, make some more space. S25 turns out to be 88.4 times 12.5, and you get 1105 is the sum of the first 25 terms of the arithmetic series. Okay, that's a typical question, with the exception of perhaps that in the exam they're less likely to give you a decimal for the values of A and D, but it's possible. You've got a calculator after all, it doesn't really matter. But that's a very typical sort of question, and those basic ideas of simultaneous equations are skills you need to master. In the next video we'll have a look at another example similar to this.